What if being a nice guy is actually the reason you are being ignored, disrespected, and taken for granted? Most men are taught to be nice, to always agree, to avoid conflict, to please everyone, and on the surface, it sounds like a good thing, but in reality, this kind of niceness often comes from fear. Fear of rejection, fear of being disliked, fear of standing alone. And this fear slowly destroys your confidence, your self-respect, and your identity. Being kind is strength, but being a nice guy in the wrong way is weakness. Because instead of acting from confidence, you act from approval. Instead of speaking truth, you stay silent. Instead of setting boundaries, you allow people to cross them, and over time, people begin to lose respect. Not because they are bad, but because you taught them how to treat you. A Stoic man understands something very important. He does not live to please others. He lives with principles, he respects others, but he also respects himself. And that balance is what creates real strength. One of the biggest mistakes a nice guy makes is saying yes to everything. Even when he wants to say no, he agrees, he sacrifices his time, his energy, his priorities, just to avoid discomfort. But every time you say yes when you mean no, you lose a part of yourself, and slowly, you become someone who is controlled by others. Another mistake is avoiding conflict at all costs, thinking that peace means silence, but silence is not always peace. Sometimes it is fear, sometimes it is weakness. Because real peace comes from honesty, from speaking your truth calmly and clearly, even when it is uncomfortable. A nice guy also often hides his true thoughts and emotions. He pretends everything is fine even when it is not. He avoids expressing himself. And this creates frustration inside, and eventually, that frustration turns into anger or resentment and damages everything around him. Stoicism teaches emotional control, not emotional suppression. There is a difference. Controlling your emotions means understanding them and responding wisely, but suppressing them means ignoring them until they explode. And a strong man learns to express himself with calmness, not with fear. Another dangerous habit is seeking validation. Constantly needing approval, needing others to like you, to accept you, to confirm your worth. But when your value depends on others, you lose control over your own life, because now your happiness is in their hands. A Stoic man finds his value within. He does not need constant validation. He knows who he is, and that self-awareness creates confidence. Not loud confidence, but quiet, unshakable confidence. Being a nice guy also often means overgiving, giving time, energy, attention without balance, thinking that giving more will create appreciation. But without boundaries, giving becomes draining. And instead of appreciation, it often leads to being taken for granted. Respect is not built by how much you give, it is built by how you carry yourself, your standards, your boundaries, your actions. And when you respect yourself, others begin to respect you too. There will be moments when people don't like your boundaries, when they react negatively to your honesty, when they pull away because you stopped pleasing them, and in those moments you may feel doubt. But this is where your strength is tested, because not everyone who leaves your life is a loss. Sometimes it is a necessary change. A strong man is not rude, he is not aggressive, he is not cold, he is balanced. He is kind but firm, respectful but clear, calm but strong. And that balance is what makes him different. In the end, the goal is not to stop being kind. The goal is to stop being weak in the name of kindness, to stop losing yourself to please others, to stop fearing rejection more than you value your own truth. So remember this, you don't need to be liked by everyone. You don't need to say yes to everything. You don't need to hide who you are, because the moment you stop chasing approval, you start building respect. And when you respect yourself, everything changes. There is a moment many men remember, a moment where they gave everything, their time, their attention, their effort, and still they were ignored, disrespected, or replaced. And in that moment, confusion begins. They start asking themselves, I did everything right, so why did it still go wrong? And the answer is not easy, but it is real. Because what they thought was strength was actually fear in disguise. Imagine a man who always says yes, always agrees, always makes himself available. He cancels his plans, ignores his goals, sacrifices his time just to keep someone happy. And at first it feels like he is doing the right thing. It feels like he is being kind, supportive, and caring. But slowly something changes. He is no longer respected, he is expected. His effort is no longer appreciated, it becomes normal. And when he finally tries to stand up for himself, it feels too late. This is how the nice guy trap works. It does not destroy you instantly. It slowly weakens you. It takes away your voice, your boundaries, your identity, and replaces it with approval-seeking behavior. And the more you try to please, the more you lose control. There is also the pain of unspoken truth. When you hold back what you really think, when you stay silent to avoid conflict, when you pretend everything is fine just to keep peace, and that silence builds pressure inside, until one day it turns into frustration, anger, or emotional distance, and by that time the damage is already done. Another story many men live is waiting. Waiting for appreciation, waiting for recognition, waiting for someone to finally see their value. But the truth is, value is not something you beg others to see. It is something you show through how you live, how you act, how you carry yourself, and if you don't see your own value, no one else will. There will be moments when you start changing, when you begin setting boundaries, when you start saying no, when you stop overgiving, and suddenly, people react differently. Some may question you. Some may distance themselves. Some may even criticize you. And this can feel uncomfortable because you are not used to it. But this discomfort is growth. It is a sign that you are no longer the same person. A Stoic man understands that not everyone will stay, and that is okay. Because his goal is not to keep everyone. His goal is to keep his self-respect, and that self-respect becomes his foundation, something that cannot be easily shaken. There is also a shift that happens when you stop chasing approval. Your mind becomes clearer, your emotions become calmer, your actions become more intentional. You stop overthinking every small thing. You stop trying to please everyone, and you start focusing on what truly matters. Your growth, your purpose, your discipline. This is where real confidence begins, not from attention, not from validation, but from within. From knowing that you are in control of yourself, that you can stand alone if needed, that you can walk away from anything that disrespects you, and that confidence is powerful. In the end, being a nice guy is not about kindness. It is about fear. Fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of losing people. But when you face that fear, when you choose self-respect over approval, everything begins to change. So if you recognize yourself in these stories, understand this. You are not weak. You were just never taught how to be strong. But now you know, and once you know, you can change.